Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball chat.
Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to BCN Sports Ball Chat Weekly Football Recap Show, aka Soccer for the American audience. I am Benton along with the family. George, what go on, family? Are you still?
I'm good, very good. I'm feeling happy.
Well, Junior, you look sleepy. Come like sleep I beat you.
Nah, man, but I'm feeling happy though. I'm cold. It's cold as hell.
Cold as hell. Frigid conditions out of though. Big up to all those on the live. We have a jam-packed show, and we're not wasting a lot of time. We're gonna recap the weekend that was in the English Premier League. Manchester United, of course, we did a watch along on a game. Manchester United defeated Arsenal in the key matchup. We'll take a look at the other scores. We also take a look at what's going on over in La Liga, as Alvaro Arbeola's Real Madrid looking to be hitting the strides. Junior, World Cup boycott talks. That conversation is going on in some parts of the football space, powerful football space. We'll take a look at the comments from the VP, one of the German Soccer Federation VP, and get our thoughts on that. We'll also have a Jamaican football report. You don't know, have to take a look on Jamaican Premier League. Young reggae girls the under-17 reggae girls drew with Ghana. We'll also do a recap of that game and whatever we can find. All right, let's get to it. Premier League action. Manchester United defeated Arsenal 3-2 in the big game. Junior, you had some time to dissect the match and your thoughts, and we'll take a look at some of the coaches' comments of this game.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think today's game was more about Arsenal than it was about Manchester United. Arsenal was playing at home. The fact that you're playing at home, the onus is on you to take the game to your opponent, and they didn't. They in the first 30 minutes, they had a good start. We were even during the watch along. We were like, "Yo, Arsenal is in the ascendancy. They should score soon," and they did. And then right after the scoring, the inopportune thing happened when they gave up a stupid goal, and they just didn't recover from that. And Manchester United built confidence from that goal for equalizer, and it led to what transpired in the second half. So I think it's more to say about Arsenal, but it's something I said earlier during the watch along is Arsenal is still in prime position. They're still in pole position. Now, with their history, we can't help but think they're doing their regular slip. And until proven otherwise, we just have to expect that they are going to fail to win the title. And we're witnessing another collapse. But I don't share that sentiment. I think they're okay. I think they will learn from this. Arteta get probably the 15th time I can remember. About 15 times he had a game like this where he was more reactionary. I know that some coaches are just reactionary, while some coaches are more proactive, and they come back and bite him sometimes.
Big up to Fabi, big up to those on the live. Fabi Frana says, big up Junior, back to winning ways. Big up Fabi, big up Fabi. Mikel Arteta, let's kind of dissect that a little bit. Mikel Arteta, the post-match press conference. We did the watch along, so we couldn't hear. At least I couldn't hear. Of course, the audio was off during the watch along, as in the commentary. But it seems like some of the Arsenal fans were booing either at the conclusion of the game, both at the conclusion and at the halftime interval. Mikel Arteta was asked about this at the post-match press conference. He said, you know what, this is kind of the landscape of which they're in. They have to prove these to the fans that they're worthy or something to that effect. This is still the team that's on top of the English Premier League, and I hate to shout, but I want to get this on top. This is still the team that's on top of the Premier League. For the fans to boo Is that a bit too much? They're leading the Premier League by for some fans to boo. I think it's not a bit. Your thoughts on that, Junior?
I don't think it's too much to boo, because it's almost like we've seen this movie before, and the fans don't want to keep reliving this movie over and over and over again. So that is how I interpret it. I interpret it that they are trying to send a message. Now, will Arsenal, does Arteta need to get a message from the fans? Probably not. I mean, will he change his ways? Probably not. Is there anything he could have done different? There are some things he could have done different, but will he adjust him? Nah. So the fans, they have a legitimate right to voice their displeasure and voice their disapproval, and they move on from it. At the end of the day, you just win the next game and everything is okay. And that you just swallow the pill. Now, from the fandom perspective, none of them have to hear from the obnoxious Manchester United fans again. And this is something that they probably were trying to avoid. So, the man them vex, man.
It doesn't matter, as the quote from Mikel Arteta, it does, and how it feels to hear the boos. He says it doesn't matter. We have to do more. So maybe that's not enough, and we have to do more. There is nothing else. We have to do our best. When you do that, you can rest in peace. And so he says it doesn't matter. Patrick Vieira, legend of Arsenal Football Club. So the fallout of this defeat, it's kind of immense. I mean, and the fallout was kind of, why Patrick Vieira said alluded to mental toughness. It's kind of a lot going on here, Junior, especially from Patrick Vieira. I mean, someone who has won Premier League title. Again, this team is still leading the Premier League.
Yeah, but all right, we can say that. I can say that. You can say that, because we're not diehard Arsenal fans. Diehard Arsenal fans, I'm gonna say it again. They have seen this movie played out before, and if so it's almost like a hopeless feeling where you're like, yo, we'll have to stop Groundhog Day from happening. So can I possibly give them a kick in the ass that they need to do something different? That could be the fans' perspective, because at the end of the day, all the fans can do is show up and support, right? That's all they can do. They cannot influence the game other than just showing up and supporting their team. Now, other thing they can do now is influence, probably, I think they are influencing some decisions amongst their team. And I think that's where they are going. I think Patrick Vieira is not siding with the fans, but he can look at the game from a fan perspective and also have the professional mindset in the back of his mind and say, based on what I see as a fan, the players are missing X, or they are missing heart, they are missing the mentality. I just point it out. Now, you can't grow that overnight, and do they need to grow it overnight to win the title? No. Just go out and win the next game. Simple.
All right, over on the Manchester United side, of course, Matheus Cunha, Junior, you've been calling for him to play more and play, but Coach Michael Carrick probably have the Carrick formula here, starting Bruno and then playing Cunha with the goal. Carrick said at his post-match press conference, says, look, we want to keep it on the level ground, keep our feet on the ground, and just focus on the next one. But it's feeling good to win these games.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, look, when a coach does something or there's a decision that is made that somebody don't agree with, if the team win, the coach get it right. If the team lose, the fanatic person that is a coach wins. And at the end of the day, Carrick don't care. What Carrick said, though, is key, because we've seen this before with Manchester United. We've seen them go out there with some big games and then come with some clunkers right afterwards. So they have to stay grounded, but they still have to maintain the momentum.
BM, big up. BM says, glory, Man United. BM says glory, glory Manchester United. I have to give them a ball of the week. I mean, the entire team, the coaching staff. That's an excellent performance. I did not have this one on the bingo card. Granted, last week, Manchester Derby, boom. All right, you find a way to win and you win it emphatically at home. But this one, I did not have on the bingo card. You go into the Emirates playing against the league leaders. Who? I mean, I guess the only thing that I probably could say maybe favored Manchester United going into the game was the simple fact that Arsenal played a game in the middle of the week. And it's not something to slouch about. But be that as it may, Arsenal still does have a deep squad. And deep enough to be able to play 2 big games in a row. And I thought today, you took the lead. You took the lead at home. Then you surrender that lead. And then they tied it up, and then you subsequently gave up the lead again. No, come on, have to hold on. So ball of the week to Manchester United. Big up, big up. Let's see what transpires in the coming week with them. But BM is singing "Glory, Glory, Man United." Definitely, definitely. Before we close out on this game, any final thoughts? Again, we did a watch along, so we said a lot about this game in our watch along and our conclusion on the watch along.
The top 5 race get interesting. That's what I'm going to say. The top 5 race get interesting. And Manchester United finally broke ranks and get into 4th space. We soon talk about Liverpool, and they're not in the top 5 right now. So that's my takeaway from the game is that, and for the weekend is the English Premier League is starting to get tight again. So a lot of meaningful games are coming down the pipe.
All right, speaking of Liverpool, let's just say it right there. I mean, and Fabi can speak to this. Maybe he can address and try to highlight what he thinks are the issues with Liverpool. Of course, winless in the last 5 Premier League games. And, those Premier League games were drawn games, so you could at least took some comfort. The 3-2 defeat yesterday to Bournemouth. There are those who believe that there's a bit of soft underbelly to this Liverpool team to give up that lead late in that game. I mean, it was a scrappy goal. Adeli scored it, a scrappy goal, but you can't give up that goal at the death right. So there were 3 or 4 Liverpool players in the vicinity of where the goal entered, and none of them could have dealt with it. So, your thoughts on that?
So I kind of teed it up earlier. Arne Slot have a Netherlands problem, and he has a national problem, a nationality problem. Virgil van Dijk has been making too many mistakes, and now he's starting to just find excuses about everything. Ty talked about Cody Gakpo earlier during the watch along, and players that are playing that not necessarily earn their right to play. And we have witnessed throughout the year cracks within that locker room starting to bubble up to the public space. And it's not, I don't think the Salah thing was a one-off. I think there's a legitimate crack right down the middle of that Liverpool locker room. With that being said, though, hats off to Bournemouth for coming back and finding a way to win the game. And I think this is their first win post-Semenyo, I believe.
Yeah, a long time they don't win a game, brother. It's not post-Semenyo because they were in a bad run.
And look at that last goal, though. Look at that last goal. So Ty said Van Dijk weak now because of Konate's continued folly run at the back. No, Van Dijk is weak now because he's older and slower, and his reaction time is slower. It's okay. The players are not going to last forever, and Van Dijk is done. He's finished. He's done. And what we just have to call a spade a spade. And I talked about it earlier, I'm going to say it again. Mark Guehi, the lack of signing of Mark Guehi that they courted all through the summer. and they were supposed to sign Mark Guehi, and they waited till the end, and the transfer window closed on them, and now Mark Guehi is running around in a Manchester City jersey. That is a detrimental loss of signing for Liverpool, and they are not going to get any better right now. They can still finish in the top 5, I believe. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. However, they are not as insurmountable as they were before.
That my question. Why didn't Alisson Becker deal with the ball right there, sir? The ball licked the post. And again, I don't want to shout, but you know what? I do have a very soft voice, so sometimes I have to raise my voice. It's not shouting, Liverpool fans. The ball hit the post. Alisson Becker is right there. Dive on the ball. Jump on the ball. Even Warren Barrett, formerly Jamaica #1, would have jump on the ball there. Come on, Alisson Becker. And I have up this image here of the ball getting chipped over him as he lay on as he is on the ground and trying to put his hand. That's too late. Aggressively collect the ball. Go jump, dive on the ball and make them kick you. Because if he kicks you, then you have a legitimate chance for a foul. I don't understand, and then Liverpool players them surrounded the referee, complaining about goal. A whole drop of ground earlier. Gavin Birch right beside, and I'm like, how is that? How does that score?
But I think Alisson is suffering from the same inconsistencies at the Liverpool centre backs. So there's a lack of communication, lack of trust, a lack of synergy there amongst the players. And yes, he could have dived at it. I'm not going to say no, but I do understand why there could be issues back there.
Where is I need a goalkeeper. Where is D Wise when I need him? Goalkeeper D Wise. I need a goalkeeper opinion on that, because maybe I am underestimating this thing. Our coach Fabi, talk to me, because I thought I listen tired to see if them Tigers. Because I thought that is a scrappy player right there, so then he would have jumped on the ball, but Chacha or dove on the ball. But what the comments from Coach Slot at the post match. Coach Slot, it's almost like he was like, all right, I was shouting at them to get Endo on. They weren't listening to me. And he went on this other thing. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, you saw that video, right? You saw, well, not the video, but on social media, because when I was it during the game, but there was like a mashup of him trying to get Endo on. I think it was Joe Gomez, right? And how long it took and how Liverpool decided. They literally decided to ignore him. And you could see it in the video because it had like the split screen and Slot they're like, yo. And the man them look and just, what's up, play ball here, man? And there's a vibe of that amongst them. So, look, last year I praised Arne Slot. When he came in, I praised him and I said, the man come in, him get a well-oiled machine, he's not changing anything. Him just go out there and say, let's keep the ball rolling, let's keep that system going, and then the hope is they can slowly tweak it. No, I think the established players probably are not receptive to his tweaks. That's the best way I can explain it away, because it's not like them switching from a back four to a back three like Manchester United did. It's not like it's not like, other than just natural age, a player getting older, it's not like there's a big drop off in the talent. So it cannot be system, cannot be talent, it must be the connection between the players and the coach, unless there's some other factor where we just don't identify as it. Like Klopp, I think it was Slot that said, or it was Van Dijk who said the breeze. Sometimes the breeze make the ball the funny thing for the goal. We don't know what I'm going to blame next.
And to be fair, just want to get all the facts straight regarding Bournemouth. They did beat Tottenham 3-2 on January 7th. So prior to yesterday, that was their last victory
It is the first
Um,
victory post Semenyo.
yeah, and so so this is the first victory. Now, prior to that, January 7th victory against Tottenham. Um, it was. I'm looking here. It was weird. So prior to that January 7th victory, was it November? Was it October 26th? Bournemouth last won a game.
I don't know. I don't really
My
follow
eyes
them
might be
side there,
tricking me here.
Yeah.
So they're one win in about 14 games thereabout, and Liverpool make him and them beat them. Come on. And I repeat this message, and maybe this is just a desire for me, because I have family members that support Liverpool and friends, as long as Shabby lands on their road, Arn Slot better fix up or he'll be out in the summer. As long as Shabby lands on their road, because this is foolishness. This is absolutely foolishness. Other EPL result, Burnley 2-2 with Tottenham, Junior. Thomas Frank, 1 week he's on. He needed to win a game. He defeated Borussia Dortmund. But then you drop points to Burnley at home, and the Tottenham fans again absolutely incensed.
It come from behind too.
I mean,
It's
Cristiano Romero.
Not like Burnley draw the game last. Cristiano Romero had to save them again.
Yeah, I don't know. Man City 2-0 over Wolves. Pep wasn't happy with the referee and felt like he should have gotten a penalty. Crystal Palace suffered immensely at Chelsea. Chelsea defeated them 3-1. So Chelsea, this Liam Rossini at Chelsea is looking good.
Yes. But just like Carrick at Manchester United, teams don't really have film on them yet. So we just have to wait and see. That early ride, and then when we have enough film, then we see how people adjust to them.
Leon Bailey made his return for Aston Villa Junior. Aston Villa defeated Newcastle 2-0. Bailey was on the park, and Bailey did put in a shift in that football game, running back and defending. Probably could have had a goal if it wasn't for the centre back for Newcastle. So 1, impressive victory by Aston Villa. 2, good to see Leon Bailey back and getting some minutes.
And that's the key thing, is getting some minutes. So that means that because I'm number one, I'm happy that Bailey get back and is getting back on the field, because it could have gone a completely different way for him. He could have come back on the court and Unai Emery could say, you don't have a future here, which it could still be in place because the transfer window is still open. So put him out there, let him show that him still have value, and then hopefully another team can come in and get a loan or a sale. Maybe that's the plan. But either way, though, he took the opportunity that he got today and played some ball. And it wasn't a fandangles or pretty football. He went out there and played with heart and energy, which is something that you want to see.
Yeah, man. Big up. And of course, it was a much-needed victory. This is at the Magpies. Anyhow, I guess this is just the landscape of things right now in the Premier League. I mean, Newcastle just not on the level of Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm. They're not. And I think talent-wise they are, but vibes they're not. Newcastle really haven't figured out a way to get their season going. And I think they too, like Liverpool, is suffering with this Alexander Isak transfer saga. They took too long to replace him.
Thank you, sir. As me sign in Liverpool name come up, me a sign out. Liverpool fans.
Aston Villa, what I like Aston Villa did, they took care of their roster early. If you remember, very early, like when we did the preview show, they had already shipped off or made clear who is a part of them plans and who isn't for the year, you know. So Unai Emery was able to get his roster, get his team going, and we see the fruits of it. As for Newcastle, they're the opposite. Eddie Howe and company had the drama with the
Isaac,
transfer
yeah.
with Isaac, and you bring in Valdamid, and who, to be fair, has started out fairly well. He has shown glimpses here and there, but hasn't been consistent enough. And we know can't stay up on the field. So they just need consistency. So I agree with you that Aston Villa is better, but I think from a roster standpoint, they are equitable.
But my thing from Aston Villa is that as it relates to the squad. So Aston Villa's coach Unai Emery, he did decide that some players are not in his plans. I think Emi Bondia is also one of them who was given the opportunity to leave. And unfortunately, he didn't find a club, but he remained to compete. At least he wanted to stay and fight for his place. And Emi Bondia is rewarding the coach because he scored a golazo today. I think actually he scored the first goal from outside the 18. Excellent goal. And here's Leon Bailey also coming back into this team. So what does that tell me? That tells me that Unai Emery may decide that life is better for you somewhere else. But until you find that place, if you prove to me that you deserve minutes on this field and you come out and deliver for me, I will keep playing you. And so that is credit to Unai Emery, management of this player. Because, Craig Butler said something about Leon Bailey. He says he's returning to Aston Villa and also performances. So he's highlighted the need to perform in that sign, in that commitment. So, and Unai Emery as a manager is saying, look, I will give you the opportunity to prove me wrong. And Bondia is doing it. Now it's Leon Bailey's turn to try and prove him wrong. It don't mean that the window going close, and they will remain, at least in terms of Bailey. But they are making an impact when they get on the field. And he has to do that. And Bondia did that today. Excellent goal.
They basically played in a contract half season.
Yes. And I think that the Newcastle side of things, Newcastle signed some players with them that need to sign, and these were rush buys, like the Valdamid guy. It's a significant downgrade in the attacking aspect of things when it comes to Alexander Isak. Significant downgrade, and I don't know how much money you paid for Valdamid. I don't think he fits in the style of football. He's more a true out-and-out number 9. They have these wide players, Anthony Gardner and Ilanga, who likes to run rampant. Valdamid is not that type of player, run up and down with these players. So let's see. The other thing, the other notable story out of this weekend, though, for me, Junior, West Ham finally won a game over Sunderland.
Mm-hmm. And it's not only finally, but the way they won it, and with who, or without who, because they've been so Paqueta reliant. And Paqueta didn't even play in this game. And they still came out and was dominant. So it just goes to show it takes time sometimes. It's just a one game. Everybody going to get that one game where you just play out your mind, you have a good, and they come back to earth, right? Don't know, but they are going to make it very interesting for that relegation battle as them hunt down Nottingham Forest, who actually won today too. So
yeah, who actually won. Now, regarding the Paqueta situation, word was that he was probably heading back to Brazil, to Flamengo, I think, more specifically. Did that deal complete?
No. Not to my knowledge.
Okay, not yet. And so what? Did it fell through? Where I hear, if you hear anything? Because I heard that.
I haven't heard anything, but you know what? And BCN Sports, we are a family-oriented show, right? But there are times when we have to do things that kind of buck the trend a little bit. And you said, can we try to figure out, like, why would Paqueta want to go back to Brazil at this stage of his career? Benton, look at this Flamingo fan. You want to see her? Let me scroll. Benton, this is a legitimate Flamingo fan in the stands. Listen. You know what? BCN Sports need to migrate to Flamengo, Brazil to do a live show from the stands. We're ready for go Flamengo.
Lucas Paqueta. So, let's see if this deal get cut. But I thought that the report was that he was gonna make the move back to Brazil. There's gonna be a transfer and he will just remain or stay with West Ham for the remainder of the season.
Until we see him holding a shirt up, we don't know what is true from what is false. Because a talent like Paqueta, Sister BM says I would want to run to Flamengo as well. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
I think there are people who are logging on for tickets to Flamengo right now.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. So Tiger said, if I buy a ticket right now, special guest analyst. But Paqueta is such a talent, though, that I cannot see those clubs in Europe making him leave. It's weird. Paqueta is such a weird story to me. Now, we've seen players, most notably, and for me, the one player that defied logic was Riquelme. Never played it. He maybe played in Europe early in his career. I'm not sure. Riquelme.
No, Riquelme played at Villarreal, man.
Yeah. So he played a little bit early, but
towards that's the Yellow Submarine.
When he come play at Boca Juniors, and during pretty much the prime of his career. And
but I mean the Riquelme stuff, and again, let me leave that one alone. Let me not touch it.
So it could be the same thing for Paqueta.
I am not touching that one.
But it could be the same thing for Paqueta, right? It's heading that way. The Paqueta story is heading that way. That there is some outside forces or some outside influences that is causing Paqueta to say, you know what? Maybe I should stay home.
You know what? You put it perfectly. There are some outside influences but I think Lucas Paqueta, talent, probably one of them highly talented midfielder, maybe the top 20 talented midfielder of his era. Maybe top 10 in his position, box to box of his era, talent-wise. But the
top 10 in the world?
Yeah, I mean, talent-wise. Top 15. I mean, Lucas Paqueta was highly regarded, And something happened, and he ended up at Lyon. He delay, and he ended up not even at Lyon, at Nice, in the French league. And it's just always has been things around Lucas Paqueta that is just you make you scratch your head like, what really are going?
Yeah.
I mean, because I thought when we saw him when he first burst on the scene, there was big ball general, and not only that, he has skill sets that you're dying for in a midfielder right now. You're dying for in a midfielder because not only can he pass from anywhere on the field, he is a tackler. I mean, right now, Arsenal. All right, look on today when Arsenal are play Manchester United. There is no way Matheus Cunha a take shot round Arsenal box like this and pocket at the on the field. People are get kicked down.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But Zubamendi, big transfer, cannot even keep up. But Lucas Paqueta would be there and I clean him up. And so that's the puzzling thing about Paqueta is like he has the attacking flair, the attacking creativity, the physicality to be able to shut down or tackle a boy immediately. And yet he cannot garner or has been unable to garner that big transfer to a big club because of the other stuff around him. And then the yellow card thing didn't help. Did not help.
It didn't cause the gambling rumors.
Did not help. Because, you know, this Man City not even... Man City didn't even look at him anymore.
Yeah. Publicly.
Because it's an insult for Paqueta with his level of talent to be playing for West Ham. Maybe we just have put it right, so.
Yes.
Yeah, man, is supposed to be a Real Madrid.
His tenure at West Ham just feel like my boy would have got Aston Villa with Tevez, Mascherano.
Yes, yeah, man.
But
it's like, yeah.
They went there, cut their teeth, showed their class, and take with themselves to bigger, better clubs. And Paqueta just stuck.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to utilize that same model that they did, right? Because remember, I said them had the big baller too. But them have to go to West Ham because Tevez had a bag of same choppiness. Because it's like he has a litany of willing to fight people by any means necessary. And I think the plan for Paqueta was to try to him, you know, not only demonstrate that, but kind of then launch off to a bigger club. But then the yellow card thing just mash up that, brother.
I think the gambling thing.
That would I say, but he was convicted of the gambling thing, so we just call it yellow card.
No, whether they convicted, yes or no, it's a stinker on. BM says Brazilian players are overhyped. Paqueta isn't all that. You're wrong, BM.
I am sold on Paqueta, BM. I am sold on him.
The reason why I am sold on Paqueta is that he's at a bug side. And he's at a team, even though granted, it's not like him single-handedly keeping them out of the relegation. However, every team they play against, the first thought is, where is number 10? He cannot beat us. But we have seen games where number 10 put West Ham in a position where they just need somebody else to step up with him. The man good, man.
Yeah, man.
He's a proven midfielder.
Yeah, man. I can say we talk at length about what Real Madrid is missing, how they're missing Toni Kroos. I can really see Lucas Paqueta sliding into Real Madrid and helping them win treble because of the Toni Kroos sort of influence. The ability to pass from deep and the ability to accurately pass from deep and the ability to tackle and shut the door on any player. I mean, all right. EPL table before we take ourselves. Arsenal at the summit, of course, 50 points, 4 ahead of Man City. Junior, West Ham. Do you think West Ham will survive? Wolverhampton is also competing, even though they suffered a defeat against Man City. Do you think West Ham will survive? 5 points behind Forest now.
They need. Even if Forest lose all their games going out, West Ham still need to win 2 more games to overtake them. Do you see West Ham winning 2 more games?
This might just be the start, Junior. Yes.
It might just be, but...
I believe in Nuno.
I believe in Nuno too as well, but Nuno is just one guy. And Nuno is dependent on 11 players on the field. And those 11 players have consistently failed. It's more than I think for West Ham to survive, I think they need a team above them to collapse. I don't think West Ham is going to just want a big run and just magically move themselves out of relegation. A team above them have to collapse. A team above them have to have 2 less wins or more than West Ham moving forward. Are for every 2 wins that West Ham have 2 wins, a team above them need at least 2 losses, and then they can share identical records after that. So it's more than West Ham. I think this now hinges on, will Sean Dyche's voice get boring in the Nottingham Forest locker room, or will the order come down? Leeds. I think Leeds. There's a stronger chance of Leeds collapsing than Nottingham Forest collapsing. So keep an eye on Leeds. I think it's going to come down to Leeds versus West Ham.
Before we leave EPL, we cannot exit without this. This is one of the great. Go ahead.
Pre-madness what Tyrone said, but go ahead.
Yeah. This is one of the great collapses in history, Junior. Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace. Felipe Mateta has apparently put in his request to leave. Oliver Glasner, the coach, has announced that he's leaving. Crystal Palace could be relegated, Junior. Your thoughts on this? Do you see Crystal Palace in a potential relegation battle with the exodus that could happen over there? Now they're sitting in... Let's look at where they are again.
While I put it up the thing, that's a tough question. Right now, Crystal Palace is sitting in 15th. They are 8 points.
They're in 15 and 28 points, yes.
Right, so they are 8 points ahead of West Ham. So for Crystal Palace to lose, to be relegated, they would need to have 3 losses. And West Ham have 3 wins. And then both of them share identical records the rest of the way out. I don't see that happening. And it doesn't matter how many players Crystal Palace lose. There's still quality in that squad. One name Adam Wharton.
Adam Warner, is he playing though?
I think he's injured, but when he come back, he's not leaving till summer. So there's quality there. It's not like there's no quality there. I think the best thing that could happen for them is to survive. And they bring in a new coach next year and to start fresh. Just start fresh. But what we're seeing is a very unfortunate run of events, though, because I think the writing was on the wall when with the Mark Guehi saga from summer. Is he going? Is he not going? Mark Guehi wanted to go to Liverpool, and I think the last essay and Guehi was held on to. Adam Wharton was kicking up dust all over the place where people were inquiring about them. And Crystal Palace never make any business calls. If they had made the business calls and said, look, these players might be a little bit unsettled, go about your business, and we'll replace them, they would be in a better spot right now. And with Glasgow coming out now, and obviously frustrated, I really want torpedo. To me, he wants to torpedo the organization. The man come out and say, I'm not come back next year. He could have waited till January 31st to say that, after the transfer window closes. Because when you signal to your team that you're not coming back next year, your players don't promise you that says, why am I here? This is a lame
but is that a situation where Oliver Glasner is frustrated at the press conference? You know, when they discussed the Mark Guehi, when he spoke about it, the Mark Guehi thing, he's like, we've played games without him at times throughout the year, this season, but he's like, what can I do? What can you do? I told the club, he said in October, he got an offer and he accepted it. And he's like, I told the club, and I'm just going to leave at the end of the season. And I told the players also, clearly the owners have different vision for the club. Now, so the question I have is, you have players on that Crystal Palace team that could, garner a few interest in the last part of the window. You have Ismail Assar. You have Felipe Mateta, the striker, who have already said, like, at least word is he wants to leave. Adam Wharton, if he was healthy, would probably want to exit. I mean, what? Junior, they just won a trophy. Why dismantle the team?
Like you said, the orders are at a different wavelength than the coach. The coach have stronger aspirations than the owner. The owner is saying, yo, we're good in the Europa League, Yeah, you win the FA Cup title, but come on, man, we cannot compete with the top 5, top 6. So we go to the Europa League and we'll figure it out. And the coach will say, yo, but this don't work for my career because why would I want to be a mid-tier coach? I want players and blah, blah, and I think that's what happened. And now you have a break. And now you have a break in the relationship. And it's a sour break. Because like I said, if Glasgow was to be professional, he would have done it after the transfer window. Or he would have done it at the end of the season. Like, oh, we could have reached somewhere with our contract negotiation. I'm going to move on. But you signal to your players right now during the transfer window that you're moving on. Again, what's the motivation to play?
Yeah. All right, let's get to some comments before we take a step from the EPL.
Tyson, world football have showed us that a rose cannot survive among thorns. Lucas Afigo are one big side. Agree.
Yeah, I agree. He should be.
This is the man. He said, Nuno to Liverpool is his dream.
Nuno to Liverpool, nah. I don't. I think Liverpool. Nuno is not a coach for big clubs, and what I mean by that is that Nuno is a coach that needs time to build something, and what sort of time we're looking at? 2-3 years, good. Big teams want to win and want to win 1-2 years. And Nuno also probably run an argument with stars. Didn't he run into an argument with Karim Benzema over Saudi Arabia? Yeah. So I don't think Nuno is appropriate at Liverpool. I think Nuno is where he is ideally placed. Keep West Ham up, and he can then launch them into something like what he did at Forest or Wolves at Wolves. So
he's a modern day David Moyes.
Yes, a modern day, but David Moyes there. So I don't know. David Moyes still do for him to get Everton.
Yeah, but Tyson, how can you determine that? Big Sam never got his chance either. You know why Big Sam never got his chance? Because he lied on the resume. He had his chance, but he lied on his resume. We have not seen Big Sam around near a coach's board ever since that lie. Yo, England dodged a bullet in a man.
Big Sam, hey, Big Sam did have his chance with Bolton.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to La Liga scores, Junior. I actually pulled up the wrong score here. La Liga scores. Real Madrid impressive, but more importantly, Real Madrid. Are you sold on Alvaro Abiola in this Real Madrid team, Junior?
Sold is a strong word because it's too early, and we haven't seen him really get tested yet. Let me see you play a Clásico. Let me see you play a Champions League semi-final. That's how we judge Real Madrid coaches. This is a Champions League contending squad that he has. So why would we be surprised at like a 2-0 easy victory or 3-0, whatever it was? Why would we be surprised at that? Why would we celebrate a manager managing players? That's all he has to do is manage players right now. You don't really have a coach. Just make the players then be motivated to play, and you sit down and enjoy what you see live, and to feel like what we see on TV. That's all you have to do. So I'm not impressed. And I'm not throwing dirt on him, but you want to impress me? Do to Barcelona what Barcelona did to you with Hansi Flick. When Hansi Flick just came to Barca. That was impressive. Run them off of the field and say, new sheriff in town. Until then, it's the same Real Madrid.
So what I will say, and I don't want to really give him credit too early, but I acknowledge some gains some things have changed about Real Madrid in the last few games. Of course, they suffered with Albeche defeat them in the Copa del Rey. So that was utter rubbishness. Some people should get fired for that, but granted, you just hire him, so you can't fire him that quickly. But what I saw is that Vinicius Jr. has committed himself to working on both sides of the ball and passing up the ball. And that's something that I did not see consistently with Xabi Alonso. No, it's a small sample size, as in, 3 or 4, was it 3 games so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a small sample size with Alvaro Arbiola. So let's see how he goes about it once they then have run into any sort of rough patch. But so that's for me is a big take. And also equally important, they went in the game against Villarreal needing to win and take the La Liga lead. And it was almost like a business trip sort of game. They were very professional in the approach, and they won the game, in pretty comfortably. And I thought, you know what? I did not see that with Xabi Alonso Real Madrid. So I have to give him some credit. Small sample size, but giving him credit.
So, question, do you think Xabi Alonso coming into Real Madrid and instantly going to the Club World Cup, do you think that affected his tenure? Do you think being thrusted into games right away and not having a proper preseason, not having a proper, it's more than tactics. It wasn't a tactical reason why Xabi Alonso is no longer the head coach at Real Madrid. It is more of a management. It's more of a player-coach relationship. Do you think the Club World Cup affected that the building of that bond?
Yeah, I think it did. I think Xabi Alonso had an opportunity to kind of lay his marker on Real Madrid. And the Club World Cup was the first sort of test case because Real Madrid are star side. And it was an opportunity for him to not just only win football games, but also exercise his authority. And I think he failed to do that. And it followed him into the La Liga competition. No, looking back on it, is say you can Monday morning quarterback anything. I think Xabi Alonso was a wrong fit for Real Madrid from jump, looking back at it. And the reason why I'm going to say this is that Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen and his Real Sociedad B coaching days like to build a kind of a community, a complete sort of team, where every man kind of work for the same collective. That is not Real Madrid. Real Madrid are star ball aside. You have stars and you have stars upon stars. Some stars not gonna work back for the collective. Give me the ball and let me do what me do. And I think his approach at Real Madrid wasn't in line with the Real Madrid historical his history under Florentino Perez. So I think it's a wrong fit. Now Liverpool, and again I'm gonna beat this drum again and again. Liverpool need to get rid of Slot in the summer, bring in Xabi Alonso and let him build Liverpool. Because we saw what he did with Leverkusen. Build them to something. Because Liverpool are no star man side. Salah might think say I'm a star, but it's not no star man side. They are trying to build a collective.
But that's the question I would ask then. So, Jabi Alonso coming in, you are I don't even want the FSG. You just put on your GM hat right now. You are looking at Jabi Alonso. What are the instant changes you're making to Liverpool, right? If you are going to sign Jabi Alonso tomorrow, what is the Liverpool squad as currently constructed? Is it ready for Javi Alonso to take and say, okay, let me make these shifts? Or is there pieces that you would move prior to even showing Javi Alonso what's available?
Pieces are moved.
You know what?
Pieces are moved immediately.
So let me change. Let me reword it a little bit. Come, let me beat around the bush. Are you leaving Mohamed Salah's decision to stay at Liverpool?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you are making that decision for Javi Alonso?
Yeah. Time come. Time to move on. Virgil van Dijk. We do a testimonial game. And we give Xabi Alonso a fresh slate to give him a chance. No sort of power dynamics. No sort of power struggle. Robertson, Virgil, Mohamed Salah, all gone. You know what? Who else? Well, Alisson Becker. Thank you. Goodbye. All gone. Ibrahim Kanate. I love you, baby, but we have to see our road. I love you, but you have to...
Florian Wirtz?
No, because I'm just rich. Have to give him a chance. He's young. Have to give him a chance.
Cody Gakpo?
No, you go on a road. You have to go a road.
Are you keeping all the midfielders?
I would say what Real Madrid willing to give for McAllister, because his heart is probably at Real Madrid. Come get him. We want people who are there.
Well,
and also
Tyson, no, we don't need Jabi right now. He say, yeah, true, Slot is building. We don't need Jabi. I'm only calling for Slot's head because he's upset yesterday.
Because the thing with me is that if you don't take Shabby right now, then you potentially could lose Shabby, and there goes that opportunity. Because I have seen enough of Slot to know that Slot is not ready for this team.
Right.
Speaking of Florian Wirtz made some passes yesterday uncontested passes that was overhit. I mean, I say, wait, a big money transfer, you have nobody on the... All right, me understand it can happen 1 or 2 times. But you have big money transfer. Simple passes, Junior can make those passes with him eyes closed.
Yep.
And
I spin with it to that with some fandango, some no look.
And I was a little bit kind of so he needs a summer to kind of really kind of fine tune some things in his game. But Xabi Alonso, I would bring him in the summer to come take over the ship.
Yeah.
But
Tyson, leave my team alone. We're good. Just need a centre back. You see, we'll leave them alone. It's okay.
Then all right, we're good. We are revisit this nice summer. I need about 15 centre backs.
Hey man, you have a whole heap of giveaway now.
All right, Junior, as we step away almost close to the end of the show before we go Yard Ballers report. This is a story occurred this week. A story, World Cup boycott. German Federation VP, Mr. What name? Okay, Gertlich, saying that they need to have that conversation around boycotting the upcoming World Cup. The French Minister of Sport also said that there are discussions occurring, but they haven't made a final decision. But they don't see themselves boycotting because it's a much anticipated tournament, but she will not make any sort of final decision for the group. So, to paraphrase, discussions are being had between within certain federations. Your thoughts on that, and then equally, to make matters worse, FIFA president Gianni Infantino made a jab at English fans recently. Said in Qatar was the only time in history no English fans got arrested.
All right, so we have geopolitics and you have geosports, right? And sometimes they have an opportunity where them can intersect. We started with the Olympics way back when, and now they threaten the same thing with the World Cup football. Um, you know why? You know why it'd be difficult to boycott the World Cup? It's because it's three nations hosting it. So why are you punishing Canada and Mexico and the world? Just look at FIFA and say, look, we don't want the games played in America. We don't feel safe going there. We don't want any games played in America. Simple. Simple. FIFA is too, you see, there's a rhetoric. We all know what is going on in the United States and the rhetoric with the federal government. We're not going to really dive into. But the FIFA president, his rhetoric is just as poor. His rhetoric is just as bad as the federal government in the United States. So that is what kind of opened this angle now where I don't feel bad if I hurt FIFA by protesting the games and boycotting the games. Because FIFA hasn't shown me, and more specifically, Infantino hasn't shown me, not me personally, but I'm talking about the elected officials, where he's morally a good guy, where we can feel some kind of way for hurt him. So they put Infantino and Trump kind of put themselves in the same bracket, and they put themselves in this bubble together, where I am now affiliated with the big bad Trump, and Infantino was living off that hype during the Club World Cup and during the announcement of the World Cup 12 months from now. But now with what's going on geopolitically, now Infantino cannot shake that affiliation. And you look at Infantino's face, he just have a Trump look to it. It just look like they just look like brothers. So it makes it easier. And since I was heading towards the Bangladesh ICC. I was and Ty just said to that FIFA and the ICC is the same, because we saw what happened with Bangladesh, as you talk about in the in the roundup. Bangladesh saying, yo, we don't feel safe for playing in India. Now, what ICC said? All right, Scotland, come play. That's the most tone deaf response to a team, whether it is petty or whether you feel like it's petty or not. What are you signaling to the small man? Because in that thing, India is the big boy and Bangladesh is the small man. We see ISIS shoot and kill people on American streets. And now we see now World Cup coming up, and a lot of people are legitimately concerned about going to the World Cup. They're not only you were at first you were concerned about whether getting into the country, yes or no. But now you have to worry about when you're walking around on the street, a man might say you're foreign and want to shoot you. And I expect FIFA to react the same way ICC reacted. Oh, you want boycott? Well, guess what? Nigeria said they will come at the World Cup. You want boycott? Well, guess what? Jamaica or New Caledonia will come to the World Cup. So we will figure it out. I expect FIFA to do that. That's my expectation. So it's sad. It's sad that geopolitics get involved with geoathletics. It's very sad because BCN want to be a space where you can not turn a blind eye to what is going on in the world, but you can take it as a small escape. But no, we're just all a part of it. It's now a big part of it, and we're going to watch World Cup games, and we are going to talk about how, and I'm telling you right now, people, BCN Sports going to watch along for the World Cup, and I'm telling you right now, We're going to talk about how our Ivory Coast players, our Senegalese fans are treated differently than how they treat, I don't know, Portuguese fans. And we're going to say, I wonder why. Our German fans get treated differently than how them treat Ivory Coast fans. Or how them treat, God forbid, how they treat Haitians. And we're going to wonder why, right? And that's the world that we're trending towards. So you know what? Maybe it's a good thing to boycott the World Cup. Let's not have a World Cup this year.
You know what? The thing about Infantino's statement regarding the ticket. So he was at the World Economic Forum in Davos recently, and and then he was at was the World Economic Forum some. He said that one of the things that the English fans, English FA, through their supporters federation have filed some complaint around the ticket prices. And he said, but we have more ticket requests for this World Cup than for any other World Cup in the history of World Cups. So how people are complaining about ticket prices? That's basically what I say. How people are complaining about ticket prices. And we have more requests for tickets than any. Say you combine all the World Cups than before. You can get it doesn't. What was it? It doesn't rise to the level of request for tickets that they've had for this World Cup. And he said, be reminded that in America it's legal to have resale tickets. He says we can't stop people from doing resale. American law allows resale platforms to sell tickets. And so these resale platforms, he says, you think for a price expensive? Wait till you see it over the resale. over on the third party side, which is allowed under American law. So, and according to
that translates to, right?
Huh?
I don't get my money, so
yeah. And he's like, we cannot tell people not to resell tickets, but he says, okay, I think that a percentage of the tickets that we got requested, were people who are looking to resell tickets. But he's like, you know what? It's allowed under American law. So, a part of me, I understand Infantino and also the elephant in the room are not discussed topic is that Infantino has to do what is necessary to pull off a successful tournament. And successful financially for them, meaning that they don't piss off the host. And don't piss off the host, meaning that you need to agree and back the big host as much as you can. Because there's a tax exemption status to host the World Cup here.
Yeah.
That's granted by the current administration. The previous administration didn't grant it at the time of request. And as a tournament, FIFA wants to know that they can be able to exit this environment with as little or no taxes as possible. So imagine Infantino doesn't agree and say, well, German fans are chat foolishness but he can't publicly say these things that he agree with the German VP or whatever and willing to hear about boycott because he knows he will run the risk of getting slapped with the tax from the current big dog in our big bull in the pen. So you just have to kind of balance it out.
Between a rock and a hard place.
It's you said it perfect. It's a rock and no, but man fi act like man still, and Infantino now. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if there will be any boycott, but I know there are groups who want the World Cup to be, and the ticket prices aren't helping.
You know why there won't be a boycott?
Why?
Because FIFA mandates that politics and football don't mix. The football federation and
Yeah,
politics
yeah,
don't
yeah,
mix.
yeah,
So you can't draw a political line
yeah.
in a FIFA. It's against their bylaws. It's against their whole setup. So you can't. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a power play. I get this is the one chance you have to. Um, you know what? People ever watch BCN have sense. This is all over Greenland.
Yeah, I mean, it's a part of the European play, right? You know,
Right.
it's part of the European. Yeah.
So,
Hey,
so,
so
so
yeah, Denmark, that they are World Cup. Them supposed to boycott.
yeah, but they have to be very fit. All right, it's not a political show, but this is a joke. Did you know that Greenland has a coalition? Them names something like Freedom Coalition or whatever. Did you know Denmark wants free? There's a part of Denmark that is fighting for freedom from part of Greenland that is fighting for freedom from Denmark.
Yeah, they had I think they had a they want to have a referendum to determine their own independence. They want to be.
Right,
In fact, Greenland tried to join CONCACAF. In
right.
fact, they did submit an application to be a part of CONCACAF and play their game. So imagine Jamaica fly go Greenland go play CONCACAF in a World Cup qualifier.
BM said Denmark is in the playoffs. They haven't qualified yet.
Okay,
But,
okay.
but,
Thank
but
you,
even
thank
with
you.
that, even with that being said, though, they
Thank you,
cannot
BM.
they cannot get involved though. Denmark cannot get involved.
Yeah, well,
Because
then there's a perfect opportunity. Denmark for just go and not worry about qualifying and keep it moving.
yeah,
Keep it
we'll
moving.
see, we'll see.
Keep it moving. And then regarding to the politics and football or sports period, I mean, at the end of the day, these teams are at the mercy of their minister of sport. So there's no England side can run come play World Cup if England minister of sport and England leadership said hell no. Our German minister of sport or the French minister of sport said yo, no tana in a yard. I mean, so they
But
can't.
there's a gentleman's agreement between the federation and the ministries.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw in England when war broke out how the politics of England, English parliamentarians got heavily involved and heavy-handed regarding the English Premier League, and said,
With the
"Yo,
Brexit and the Brexit thing too, because they got
yes,
involved with Brexit. Yeah.
yeah." So
But that's not FIFA though. That we have to remember that's FA. That's English FA. That's not
yes,
FIFA.
yes, but
It's a different thing.
the BM said Denmark play when them say may play Republic of Ireland, you know. So we have to watch the space. I've always felt like politics always involved in a sport. Sports and politics go hand in hand. We people always said the other side it's don't mix, but you can't have a tournament in a place if you're not willing to adhere to the politics in that environment. Like you can't have your World Cup in America right now if you are not willing to adhere to the American political landscape. Man say, yo, piss off the wrong man and see if you host if the host are gonna say, yo, come in, I welcome you open handedly. Hell no. You go somewhere else, go watch the tournament.
That also requires some gentleman agreement as well, because a host country cannot host the World Cup if they are not welcome into the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with Qatar.
Yeah.
And they had to publicly show that they are a little bit more liberal, right? So you can't it get tricky. I'm leave it alone.
And also the scamming thing of World Cup and FIFA, because taxpayers in these countries fund the development of stadiums and investments to host these tournaments. FIFA now make no significant financial commitment for build things for host tournament. You know? I mean, I remember in the 2014 World Cup down in Brazil, my Brazilian brethren I say, yo, We can't even find food properly and the money I take money build new stadium after we pay all these taxes. So, but of course for the host, they see it as a long-term return on investment. So a good RO, go ROT or whatever, or ROI or whatever they can call it. But watch the space. All right, to Jamaican football news, family. Let's step over to Jamaican football news. No word, Junior, on the head coaching decision for the Reggae Girls, senior Reggae Girls. I don't know if Hubert Busby is the man for the job. I don't know. But the Youth 17 Reggae Girls drew 1-1 with Ghana in their opening game.
Score a rotted goal.
You say that again?
You want to see the goal that Jamaica score?
Oh. So Jamaica scored to salvage a point, or were they leading?
Yeah. They were down.
Okay. And who was the goal scorer?
The goal scorer was Nicolette Pendergrass.
Okay, big up.
In the 85th minute.
Big up.
I send it to you right now. Just score from about 25 yards out. Chip it in the top corner.
All right, I'm have to check that out. Couldn't find that game on any platform. It was broadcast everywhere except here, right, in this market. I think somebody else had the rights.
Need a VPN.
You need that, yeah. Yeah, we have a talk to you off here about them things.
Yeah.
Jamaica Premier League results. Dumbo holding 4-2 over Harborview. Moulins 1-1 with Spanish Town Police. Mobile Clip, Chapelton Wing 2-0. Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant. Shock defeat. Waterhouse defeated Mount Pleasant 1-0. Racing and Portmore 1-1. Treasure Beach 1-1 with Arnett. Cavaliers and Tivoli currently 0-0. Junior, I am a bit surprised by this 1-0 victory for Waterhouse over Mount Pleasant.
Why?
Waterhouse are idiot side.
Mount Pleasant. I think Mount Pleasant, like you said in the previous headlines, and people watch out for the headlines. We'll have the next headlines probably coming up tomorrow. Said that they lost the Haitian baller, right?
They lost the 17 hero. I saw what you tried to do there, Junior. You put a picture of the 17-year-old. What you trying to say? Mr. Celestine.
That he ain't 17.
Yeah, Celestine, Mr. Celestine. Which is kind of strange that the youth scored 4 goals for Mount Pleasant last year and Mobile United signed him. I mean, how Mount Pleasant allowed that to happen?
I have theories, but we leave it alone. But the thing with the Premier League is so long, right? They play so many games over such a long period of time. It becomes a game of attrition, and you can have a good start to the season like Racing. Remember Racing? They start by running with the league early,
Yeah,
can they maintain it? No, they are second.
Yes,
but they are not like a comfortable second, because Mount Pleasant, even though they lost, Mount Pleasant have 5 games in hand, and them have 27 points. So it's just too much games playing over too long a period of a time. Now I know the Hurricane don't affect it. Yeah, Hurricane don't affect it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they did disrupt the schedule.
But the season is too long. It's way too long. So you like I say, it becomes a game of attrition. A Harborview with them new coaching staff, we don't know what's coming out of that. But like I say, you were surprised by the score. I am not that surprised, because you're going to have games like those. you're going to have those one-offs where a team just not upbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. The standing for the Jamaican Premier League, Mobile United leads with 42 points. After playing 20 games, racing in second with 35 points. Down at the base, Harbourview and Spanish Town Police. Harbourview on 15 points and Spanish Town Police on 9 points. And the Argentinian coach of... actually, you know what? So the Argentinian coach of Waterhouse finally won a game. Because I think he replaced Fuzzy Marcel, and I think he lost the last game, and he was like, "Bridger, we can't score for save our life," you know. So that I think if that's the case, then this is a good start for a much needed victory for him and his Waterhouse outfit.
BM says Harbourview may get relegated this season. Remember when Harbourview was a club of choice for every young baller in Jamaica, yeah? There was a time when every young baller, we know some baller that tell like, yo, I have trials at Harbourview, you know.
Yeah. It would be nice to talk to Clyde Giardini and find out what going on at Harbourview. Why this real decline
I mean, they just changed the coaching staff again, and what's ironic, both teams that are at the bottom of the table have revamped coaching staffs, coaching staff changes.
Can't find a coach. Can't find a coach to save them life.
Can't find a gear.
Yeah. All right, that's it for Jamaican Premier League roundup and Jamaican football roundup. Big up Bunny Shaw. Bunny Shaw did score again today for Man City ladies in a victory over London FC. Big up yourself, Bunny Shaw. Any final news, anything before we take yourself from me?
Speaking of Bunny Shaw, I think the question has to be asked. Where does Bunny Shaw rank worldwide, all time? Well, no. Where does she rank worldwide right now as a striker? And then at the end of her career, I think a legitimate question has to be asked: is she top 5 striker in the world ever? At the end of our career, I think a legit question is going to be asked. But I'm curious to know, where does she rank right now worldwide in pundits' eyes as a striker?
I think worldwide, Bunny Shaw is the best striker in the Women's Super League. Best goal scorer in the Women's Super League. Of course, there are parts of our game that needs to polish. Yeah, man, she rank up there. I mean, Man City is a big side. Chelsea is a big side. Man City is one of the two big teams. In fact, I want to ask you this. We'll get your thoughts on this here in a few minutes regarding Trinity Rodman and her recent deal. Bunny Shaw definitely in the top 10. Top 10, maybe even top 5 goal scorer in women's football. Not currently.
Globally,
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Globally, it's not. I mean, there are some ballers down at Corinthians where it's a big side, but I think Bunny Shaw globally top 10 goal scorer in women's football.
Yeah. BM says she's leading scorer with 13 goals. Chicha says, I think this is Bunny's year to win the league. I think Bunny can even win the female Ballon d'Or.
No, she have to win trophies.
Well, she can win trophy this year, and homegirl broke her foot. What's your name? Ball Marty?
Yeah, but they now win that trophy. The problem with Man City ladies is that they're constantly running up to Chelsea. In fact, Chelsea defeated them in the League Cup semi-final last week. And so, even though Bunny has done quite well for Man City ladies, she has to take, this team must find a way to win trophies. And the big juggernaut to get over is that Chelsea team. That Chelsea team, not only have they made it deep into the in the Champions League. Of course, Arsenal won last year, Women's Champions League. Chelsea is like a big team in this Women's Super League. And so I think for Man City and for Bonisha, it's, that window is going to close soon. And you need to try and win the Super League. You need to win the Super League this year. Yeah. Because even on top of that, they went and signed that Brazilian player, Caroline. Mm-hmm. So they signed Caroline. It's a big side they have over Man City, but they just cannot seem to find the final piece or key to beat Chelsea. And maybe this year is the year. Maybe this year is the season, to do it. But they want to win that Women's Super League and they want to make a deep run in that Women's Champions League. But before we go, the Trinity Rodman story. Trinity Rodman became the highest paid woman footballer this week. Over $1 million a year, approximately. But most notably, the thing that is interesting here is that the league created this high impact player rule. It's basically a carve out that allowed teams to be able to go beyond the salary cap to sign these so-called high impact players at a higher price. Right. The players union and other players are totally against this rule. They think that rather than do that, just increase the salary cap period. Rather than having this idea that you can sign one or two players above the salary cap, whereas the entire salary cap is not increased. You have any preference on that? I mean, you can say anything that's bad about trying to keep the salary cap where it is and allow these teams to so-called sign high-impact players.
The bad thing is you isolate players. So you're going to have the bad thing with the current setup is that Trinity Rodman will be one out of 22 players on a field that is making high money, right? So there's a lot of pressure on her to play up to that standard. And also, you create this wage gap. And you have players who are just going to naturally be jealous. Now, if they were to increase the salary cap and give teams the opportunity to sign players more than one Trinity Rodmans, then you now run the risk of the team going defunct or the team running into financial problems because you're paying 2-3 players more money than you're bringing in the box office, that you're bringing in ticket sales. So the league now can run a risk of running out of business. Which what they are trying to do is trying to strike the balance of keeping their good players stateside instead of their players running over to the Super League. And if you keep them stateside, it give the United States a chance to build a league that is equitable to what is going on in Europe. It don't make any sense for America to be the best team in the world and they don't have their players playing at home. You run the risk now of what happening to Brazil over all these years happening to America. So I think that's the goal. The goal is try to figure something to keep your homegrown players home and you build your own Super League here locally and you put yourself in a position where you're not bringing in every player from all about. You select certain players that can come in and help your league grow. Which is what they're doing with MLS. It's the same model. Remember, MLS had the same exempt players or whatever, where you have whatever quantity. It's the same model. Now, sure, we can talk about equity in pay. We can talk about the women not getting as much money as the men. So the salary cap, I don't know what's the minimum. What's the minimum? We don't know. The minimum salary might be $10,000, while you have one player make $1 million. That's
let me get that figure for you.
I'm going to bet it's about 30,000. I'm going to bet the minimum wage or salary for an American Soccer League player is 30,000, 40,000 at most.
The new collective bargaining agreement signed in 2025, the minimum starting at 48.5 in
Right.
2025, and it's going to increase to 50 in 2026, and reaching 82 by 2030. So the minimum is there's a sliding scale, for the minimum to increase over 5 years since they signed the last collective bargaining agreement.
So they are projecting that the league will grow and become more profitable over the next 5 years. So that they've already put it lucky in a wage scale. So if the women's soccer league was to get bigger than WNBA in 5 years, or they can't come back and say, well, the minimum supposed to be 90,000. No, we don't agree to this already, right? So that's a risk that they're taking, but I can see it now. So Trinity Rodman is making twice the amount that some players are making in the league.
Yeah,
right?
man, she's making over $1 million per year.
Wait, that's not twice. I thought it's 500. Lord of mercy.
Yeah, man.
So not even twice.
It's not only for money that much.
They're making 15 times.
Yeah.
Not 15. Yeah, no. 20.
Junior's going to do the maths at some point.
It's like we don't know what. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. You said it's 50.
Yeah, the BS is 50. We're going to give you another 10 to do it.
So it's 20 times. She's making 20 times.
Yes, the BS is 50, and she's making, let's call it $1 million per year. Because even though it's reported that she's actually going to be making more than $1 million per year, but
So that means you have escalators in it to them.
Yeah.
They don't have a set figure, so that means you have escalators. Some of them might not be reachable, like you have to score 30 goals. So you get an extra 20 grand or something, but that's crazy.
So then the follow-up question I have is this then, the Trinity Rodman. We have watched Trinity Rodman play. Do you think Trinity Rodman is the best player that's valued such highly in this league to get this league value?
She's the best player that is currently up for a contract.
Okay.
So that's how the collective, but that's how the bargaining agreement goes. Is who up for a contract now. So when the next player is up, that next player better be better than Trinity Rodman. So you can say, I need to earn that.
Yeah. From a league perspective, why not just, there was a potential opportunity for kind of, the NWSL has experienced rapid financial growth with team valuation averaging over 100 million in 2024 and 25. But most individual teams are not yet profitable, often losing $5 million to $10 million annually. So most teams in our league lose $5 to $10 million annually. You have a star baller right here, so why not go ahead and just offload the star baller to a more lucrative league, so then that can, because at the end of the day, there are higher earning leagues globally that she's getting offload her.
Yeah, but then when you offload her, is there going to be a significant effect to your bottom line? So are there butts in the seat that are the people that bought tickets just to watch Trinity Rodman? And how much of those people are you losing?
I hope that bottom line is offset and won't eat into the profits that you as a league will make from offloading her.
But I think that's what they sat down and max out. And when they figure it out, they realize that, cause look, they're not going to, the chances of them, of a league, making that drastic of a financial decision without sitting down and crunching the numbers is rare.
Yeah, man. Right?
There might be some guessing, there might be some projecting, there might be some hopes, right? But the chances of them doing it without sitting down and really maxing it out is rare. So them take a risk, and the risk is we don't want to lose her because this is how much value she is to our league. And look, when them say we can pay $1 million, The reality is she's probably worth 2 million to the league. So there is some payoff there with that.
Yeah, BM just asked, you see, me not pay attention to come on notes now. We need to go, yeah, but BM just asked about Norman Campbell going to Japan. Junior, I totally ignore that one. Norman Campbell signed with Varen Nakasaki in the J League. Big up Norman. 26 years old he is now. The one thing we have learned about Norman Campbell in the Ramfigua Road, Junior, he don't Ramfigua Road. And so that's always kudos to him for doing this. Your thoughts on this move to the J League?
I have no thoughts on it. You go where you want it. You play where you want it. You're a professional footballer. You go and play where you are wanted. It's that simple. So them want him over there, you go play over there. Because BM said, I see a worrying trend with Jamaican players moving to Europe, showing potential, then their careers going in reverse.
Yeah.
That's not a trend. I'm sorry, BM, that's not a trend. That just means that what potential you thought was there didn't exist.
I mean,
It's
BM
that
does have a
simple.
point. Quite a few man
No,
go to
it
Europe
doesn't have
and
a
flop.
point.
Because I think we thought that Europe is the bottom line. But I know Europe alone can't play ball. And in fact,
All right.
before you chime in, I think Teofor Bennett. I'm getting old and I'm struggling here on memory. Teofor Bennett, I think, ended up going to Africa to play. And he said, I remember listening to an interview and he said, look, at the end of the day, it's kind of just echo what you just said. You have to go where you want it, and you're getting compensated. So, yeah. Go ahead, Junior.
Yeah, what I asked you earlier about is Body Shaw the best striker in the world, and where does she rank? And you said and nobody try to backtrack it now. You said it in a very it wasn't disrespectful, but it was you said so you have some ball of Corinthians that play ball. Right? But you couldn't legitimately say this baller is comparable to Bunny Shaw because of where she's playing. So you want to go play in the best. Now are you getting direct? You're getting the right direction. It's people around you for your best interests. You have those questions that come up now that if that's where BM is going with it, when we see my list of the players, Maggie, Boza, Kahim Paris, Taxi, Norman Campbell, just name a few. Is it that they're going for, is it the people around them directing them there for the money, or is it for the opportunity? The opportunity is everywhere now. And if you're lucky enough, you might have 3 or 4 teams vying for your services. How do you make the decision on which team you're going to play for? And you will hope common sense will dictate that I will go play in. Me no like Sun Hat. So me have an African team asking me to come play. I have a team of Iceland asking me to come play. But I don't like Sun Hat. But the African team want to pay me $500. The team of Iceland want to pay me $400. But my manager tell me, he said, no, go to Africa because the weather is okay. It's not as bad as they think it is. And me go down there and start boiled to death. Just for that extra $100. Those cases now is sad. And I don't know if the players were BM talking about, if they were directed because of non-football reasons. If it's a fiscal decision, then yes, it would make the wrong decision. But if you going out there to challenge yourself and to see if you can play at that standard, you made the right decision. And if you don't make it, then it just wasn't for you.
I asked
And
the
that's how you
agent.
see it.
They may hear the agent, I said.
Yeah, you have to talk to the agent.
I asked the agent. I do think that the agent said absolutely. Should Jamaican players so the question I asked agent, should Jamaican players explore non-European market? I see Norman Campbell going to Japan. The agent reply with an emphatic absolutely.
No, that don't relate to the question though. Of course you should pick. No. Because BM says, I see a worrying trend with Jamaican players moving to Europe, showing potential. Then
You
their
want me to
careers
ask the
going-
agent that specific question?
They want to get Kevin Cohen on the show. Well, I'm a bigger agent. I'm after BM. BM, for agent bigger than Benton. BM, for agent, a FIFA license agent, you know.
I just asked agent the question. Is there a worrying trend of Jamaican players going to Europe and flopping? The agent might not answer the one here because I try to get a player of Europe probably. Let's see. And let me give him full context.
And that's why we can't answer the agent name.
Yeah. But remember, Nana Lowe did go to Africa, right? After he
Right.
left. So, this thing around exploring other market, people are exploring that option. But if you go other market and you not get, you run into problems, then. I mean, because, all right, look at Boza. Boza, they're Mexico right now. What go on with Boza BM? I mean, because the other day, I look on the top, the Tijuana side. I say, I can't even find Boza on a squad list now. Where's Boza? Isn't he still in Mexico?
So Boza is the biggest disappointment.
Let BM answer that question. If the agent reply,
That's what I'm saying. That's what BM says.
what him say?
Boza is the biggest disappointment.
Oh, okay.
So, but then, and look, we've put it out there because I might clip this up and put it out as a shot later. So I don't want we're not setting a rhetoric where we're downplaying the players then, but there's a legitimate. It is difficult when you're looking at it from a player's perspective, and you're trying to negotiate your way to a higher caliber of football, higher level of football. Forget about the money. You are a competitor, and you're trying to get to as high as you can in the football space. So you have to now sit down and make a decision. We had the Wolmerian that came on the show. He went to Saudi Arabia, and now he's back in
You talking about Corey.
America, right? Corey.
Yeah, Corey's back in USL.
So sometimes players have to gamble, take an opportunity that presents itself, and you hope you get discovered. You have to sacrifice some things. You have to sacrifice comfort at home, comfort of family, and even some cases comfort of culture. So it's difficult. It's a difficult thing. And hats off to the players them out there. I'm not talking about the Premier League players or the players that is making gazillions of dollars. Because for those players, they're in a comfortable space. You have players out there that are running the chitlin circuit, trying to make it. And some of them won't even make it, which is sad.
Wait, the man, did you just say Chicklin circuit?
Yeah, the chitlin circuit.
The old school US blues circuit, that's where the money is.
And it applies. It applies. Because you have some people out there that is talented. You have some players out there that are talented and they just need the opportunity. And how do you get the opportunity? You have to present yourself in a certain way. You have to present yourself to the right opportunity, and you have to be ready to take it, right? And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. When we link the agent, we know a brother on South Florida. Well, my uncle at South Florida. Link me and say him have a baller. Right? And he link me up with the baller. And my uncle vouch for the baller. And I say, all right. From my uncle vouch for the baller, my uncle know football, him know baller. This youth must be ready. Right? The talk team, I'm going to say, yo, baller, we can link you with an agent, you know. But, and the agent, they can pull a card. But me need this. I need game video. I need this. I need that. Where are you playing? What are you? And he's like, crickets. And then eventually the conversation with me and him just kind of fall off. I'm going to hear from him again. And he probably have me up now, send me a bad mind him. But brother, I not bad mind you if you're going to send me video from 10 years ago, 5 years ago you're playing. We need something recent. So it's hard. It's very difficult for these players. And you have some agents out there, you have some people out there that represent these players that don't necessarily have these players' best interests at heart. They have their immediate interests, immediate payoffs at heart, but don't have their long-term career, their long-term stability at heart. So it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
It's something that is this is a whole other topic, you know. And we're gonna link Kevin and try to get him on the show. BM. The whole thing around players and player management and, you know, recognizing and realizing what is required for a transfer is not unique to footballers. It's something we see with, you know, speak to cricket agents, track agents, same thing, you know, across the Caribbean. So I just think players, you know, there's a void there's a void there where players need to get and athletes need to get coached up about what is required to make the next step. And just not just the interview, the brand, rep side, putting together. We have a man who used to play a Rivali. Where's side the name at all? Rivali. Yeah. And him a look at transfer and him send me a video that I was gonna pass on to the agent, and me couldn't send a video to the agent. I mean, so me I tell him saying if clean up this and get this thing sorted out, you know. So but it is something where I think like maybe BCN Sports need to get more involved to help these players. Yo, Tanya, link win.
Breaking news. That's it.
Yeah, because brand is important, you know.
I'll email you a picture right now. Breaking news.
Before we go on my way out, breaking news. Go ahead, Junior.
Corey Burke.
What's up with Corey?
Right, huh?
What's up with Corey?
He's taken into police custody, and I'm sending you the picture right now.
Before we go to Corey Burke, just an update on the Mikel Antonio situation with Leicester City. It was reported that Mikel Antonio was in line to go to Leicester City after a trial. Unfortunately for Mikel Antonio, during the trial phase, he picked up an injury. And so he picks up an injury, and so that ended his potential transfer to Leicester City. So Mikel Antonio, big up yourself, brother. You know what? Mikel Antonio has 6 children. Big up yourself, youth. Big up yourself. I will pop in that now, Junior.
It is, but him a time go coach and pitting them.
All right, Junior. Tell us how you really feel. The agent said, as it relates to the question, is there a worrying trend of Jamaican players going to Europe and flopping? He says, quote, the flop is not due to talent or ability, but more so the headspace and adaptability. Meaning that players are not, it's a, new space. The part of it, we just talk about brand and getting to different market. He says that players' adaptability and headspace when some of the players them flop at Europe. So that's what he has experienced. You know? Corey Burke, what you have from Corey Burke before we go on?
Check the email. I just sent you the picture.
You send me an email to what platform?
Yeah, check Gmail.
Okay.
He's fighting police.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That can't real.
You gotta look at the picture I sent you.
That can't. What are people? Let me check this thing here. He said you sent it to the Gmail. Let me see here what's going on. Corey Burke. Huh. A man in a truck back. Reggae boy Corey Burke was today taken into custody by police following a scuffle with cops. This is from the Jamaica Gleaner. Huh. Okay, we have to find out what more are going on over there, sir. With Corey.
But I chop back like I was a old thief.
Junior, why did the
Show
man
the picture.
bring up that? The man said, man, I chop back like some.
Beg people, tell me if I'm lying, people. Look for Corey Burke and I chop back.
Yeah, I mean,
With a kerchief tie over his head.
it's okay. Is it okay to post this image to show the people?
Yeah, because it's on the Gleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that. It does look like the defensive striker, of course.
ABS.
Sorry, Corey. Hopefully you have that figure out, Virgin. Hopefully you have that figure out. According to the Gleaner, Corey Burke was taken into custody. Was today taken into custody by the police following a scuffle with cops. Photographed by Ian Allen. Time for go, my yard.
Yeah, man, I hate that.
Time for go, my yard. Big up. Stay warm out the road. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe out the street, the family. Tread carefully wherever you're in the world.
Hold on. So, BM saying, are we sure that a similar incident happened way back when? Yo, if it's a old news, you know, I cuss off Sean, you know.
Wait. If it's old news, Junior, let me look at the date here. There's no date. I figure Junior already had verified it. I didn't see anything in the news.
No, but get it during the show. I got it during the show.
I didn't see anything when I googled Corey Burke. Thank you, BM. It says April 24th. No, that's a like. I mean, I don't know.
You know, let me go over the Instagram page right now. People, I got it during the show. Somebody sent it to me.
There's no report of this on the Jamaican Observer page, Jamaica Gleaner.
Page. It's actually legit. It's on the Gleaner. There it is. It was
let's go over to the Gleaner.
1 hour ago, reggae boy Corey Burke was today taken into custody. So I told her, yeah.
Wait, again?
He was taken into custody by the police following a scuffle with cops manning the gates at the Ferdinand Sports Complex in Portmore, St. Catherine for the Jamaica Premier League football match between Portmore United and Racing FC. So why am I fight police at the gate?
Well, Junior, you ever go at police? You have been to Jamaica Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Anything can go on at the gate.
When I throw the ball and I chop back. So wait. So you go to the game without shirt?
Yo, anything can go on at the gate. Yo, when you try going a game at Jamaica Premier League game at the gate, yo, is that a... It's a stressful scenario. One of the stressful experiences I've ever had going to football games.
You know what, Benton? Look at the second picture. A two-man in a truck back, you know. One in a white marina and Corey Burke. And a police, you know.
Yes.
If you zoom in and look how the police will look on Corey Burke, you know what feel said Bex should be going to World Cup. see that?
The ballad police I look on him, ballad squad I look on him hard.
See Sean, you know, I said, wouldn't give you all news. I said, so big up Sean Pulse. And you know what, though? And we have to big up, and we talked about this. We know we're done with the show, but we talked about this during the hurricane relief. And there were news coming out about people doing this, or people say them doing this and them not doing this, and we hear the government of Jamaica and what going on with the government of Jamaica, turning a blind eye to certain parts of Jamaica, and reportedly because there are different party affiliations, right? Politics got involved.
Yeah, politics.
I big up Sean and big up his organization and the group. I don't remember the group them right now, but they went out there, they put in the work, they gathered the donations. We did donate to them as well, and they went out there and helped people on the ground. I can't vouch for that. That's not fake news neither.
Yeah.
So obviously big up to Sean and big up to all of the real people out there that was putting in work during the hurricane and continue to put in work during the hurricane relief. And Sean, I know you've been there for Mannings. You've been there for, I don't remember which, it's St. Catherine, some other, I think he did another school benefit thing recently, and I saw that. So I have to big it up, and yo, we're gonna keep highlighting people that are doing great work for the island. So big up Sean Potts.
Yeah, big up Sean, but big up the original Miss Thompson. Big her up. Of course, Sean's mother, Miss Thompson. Big her up. The lady who take care of myself and many others during our early years, our formative years. Yo, I could rally up a fundraiser for bail out Corey Burke, yeah, man.
No, but Corey Burke say which part.
Well, we're gonna need him for our match. No, we're gonna need him for the World Cup qualifier.
No, listen, Corey, I'll put some money for your books.
Yeah, we are bail him out. We're gonna need him for.
No, but I come at the World Cup qualifier, Corey.
We're gonna need him against New Caledonia.
Him can score?
Yeah, we're gonna need him against New Caledonia. New Caledonia.
So big up to DTR Foundation and Yard and Foreign. Big up Yard and Foreign. People, check out Yard and Foreign on Instagram. And I will tell you the affiliation with Sean, privacy, but check out Yard and Foreign on Instagram. And we tell us that she gives some information that help Jamaicans, male and female, navigate this American bad life. Yada Farid on Instagram is very, very good. Very proud Mannings alumni. Bentonville. It's a Benton Jano. We are committed to the cause. And he's humbled and he loves Jamaica. So big up Sean Paul's DTR Foundation, Yard and Foreign. Check out Yard and Foreign on Instagram right now. Go to Instagram, Yard and Foreign. And just check it out. And if you like our content, give her a follow. It's worth it. And trust me, it's worth it.
Sean, yell up the original for me. The original. When Capleton say, must be a car, man. Can't this the original Mrs. Thompson. Big up. Yo, I know. Big up. So Junior, again, family, raise up the money so we can go bail Corey Burke. Need Corey Burke for New Caledonia in a match. Rudolph Speed. Will need
without making light of it, but you know the police look for him and say, brother, you can't even score what we go. Go in the back and score.
No, I am more concerned with the brother and I with the kerchief wrapped around his head. When you're going to lock up now with no shirt and you have a kerchief. Hey.
That is Corey Burke.
Wait, I thought, how would that in I hat? I thought it was Corey in I hat.
No, Corey Burke have the kerchief for the bed, brother.
So how would this spread in I hat? Is it squaddy?
A squaddy.
Cha-cha.
Yeah, what a squaddy that, man.
No, man.
It's
Yeah,
Corey Burke.
So how squaddy look like Corey Burke, so?
I tell us the squaddy bakes with Corey because Jamaica in the World Cup. So. Hey, you know, so they're going to run in an extra patrol right before they reach a camp.
My apologies. Me think say a squaddy a Corey have on the hat. Me I look on this.
Nah, man.
Yeah, man. Respect. Yeah, man. Corey.
You have to zoom in. You probably have to zoom in for the picture to see, but.
Yeah, we not bail him out. I'm going to figure out him way out of jail.
No, make light out of the butt. Corey, if you do better, Corey. We don't know how you as a national baller catch up in a fight with police our Jamaican Premier League game. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, man. And BM, of course, pointed out that it happened a few years ago. All right, time for going on. 2 hours. Wow. Long stream today. Big up to all those on the live. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Watch out for BCN Sports headlines coming up during the week. Halftime show on Wednesday. We recap the NFL weekend action with Marcus Collins of Bright Idea Sports. Will join us on Wednesday to do a recap. Yo, that's enough. Big up to all the family wherever you are. Be safe. Be safe out the road. Chat safely there because Babylon will move away. And make sure you stay warm.